that's been souped up by Predator. Starting at the front, we're going to modify all the existing tubing to fit the Aurora gaming system, along with 3 monitors, which will all be wheelchair accessible. On the top, we're going to build a custom roof rack so they can haul all their extra gear. Moving to the back, we're going to build a station to hold 4 gaming laptops, along with monitors raised up high so the audience can check out the intense gaming action. Inside the vehicle, we're going to remove the back seats for 2 Area 51 gaming stations and take out the front passenger seat and put in another Aurora machine. And not to forget the driver, we're going to add a sweet sound system for them. The final touches, we're going to be creating a blue glow throughout the Hummer to give it that Alienware effect. And then we'll wrap it all in matte black with the Alienware hieroglyphics ghosted in. We're going to really sit down, put together a really good game plan, make sure all the guys have all the stuff they need, make sure they know the direction they need to go into. It's not a very complex build. There's a bunch of features to it, but I mean, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Hopefully these guys can knock this thing out on time and early, ahead of schedule this time, so we can do our testing we need to do. It's definitely an awesome brand to work with, and launching this thing, they're going to launch this thing at Comic-Con, which is a big event for the gamers, and it's here locally, and I think it'll be fun to take that thing out and get everybody's response out of it. Coming up on Inside West Coast Customs. The frustrating part of it is it's a waste of money on materials. I'm getting a little irritated with the whole, oh, we got plenty of time. And I'm probably going to say that I hate it more seeing it in person. I just want to put as much of this Alienware brand into the truck where it looks right. You know what I mean?
These TV monitors are going to have to come out for when the thing's driving, because you can't have these big monitors
in your way. Yeah.
In the way.
And then this tent, I think we should find somebody that can make it all, so we don't have to try to with it and have it printed, and we don't have to worry about it. So we can focus on this stuff. One of the big problems is going to be is the electronics. There's a ton of electronics. Everything's got to work together. Darren's very new still with us and with the company, and this is a large weight to put on his shoulders. So I'm going to make sure that Chad steps in on this one, since there isn't a lot of wood fabrication on this. But Chad is very familiar with wiring and computers and all that stuff. I'm going to make him work side by side with Darren on this one, just so we can make sure we got all of our T's crossed and we don't have no issues. We'll put together the 6 P's on this one, which is going to be proper planning. It's a little bit more time than what we usually get on some of these builds. I mean, there's been some crazy deadlines. To me, this is still a crazy deadline. I mean, I think this is probably a 3-month job that we got to get done in a month. So the guys are going to have to work double time and really get ahead of this build so we don't fall behind at the end of it. So I think the next step is get everything pulled off, get this rack pulled off, get everything pulled off so we can look at it.
So what we're going to do now is build a mount here that has the computer kind of floating. And then what I'm going to do in the center now is we're going to build a box that houses basically all the electronics, everything as far as running all the computers and monitors. And then to try and give it somewhat of a cool look, we're going to build what looks like 2 waves going to the passenger and the driver's side. And we'll put their branding in there and all that. But what they actually will do is be a part of the metal box, and they'll come out and they'll come up and they'll hold the monitor up as high as we can get it to the roof. Instead of getting templates and cutting out cardboard and trying stuff, I think I'm just going to go to the computer, draw the basic bottom dimensions that I want, and then I'll just figure out what I want from there. All right, I'm going to draw the parts now. Well, I'm going to draw a few of the lines which will give me my basic dimensions where everything's got to sit, and then from there I'll start filling in the lines to get the shape I want. The program I'm using is called Graphite. I like it because it's a lot easier than most of the programs where I just click lines. It makes it a lot faster than having to put in all the measurements to tell the lines where to go. We're actually going to go with this one that drops down, and then we're going to go take it upstairs and add a couple of their branding in here with the alien heads on it. We want to put their branding here, like a couple alien heads, and then maybe even put 2 small ones up there. That looks good. Go up just a little. Let's see, 12. Let's take it up a little more. I'd rather be able to be seen than hidden. All right, so I just came from Jeff's office. We got all the final drawings on here, so I'm going to load them into the computer right now, and then we'll start running them. Basically, this is a hydrojet, which is a high-pressure water cutting machine. It uses about 50 to 60,000 psi of water and abrasive to cut through basically any type of material you want. This build mostly, as far as I'm concerned, most of it's going to be cut on here. Basically, here's one of the drawings that we did upstairs, and we're getting ready to run it out on the hydrojet. And I like this machine a lot because it makes my life a lot easier. This hydrojet is actually a useful machine, but it is kind of expensive. It costs about $500,000. These 2 pieces are going to be in here, fixed together, and then lighted so you can see the branding. There'll be a box in the middle here that holds all the electric stuff, electronics, routers, and all that. And then there's another piece I got to put across here that'll hold these 2 pieces together. And on each side, on the passenger and driver side, the monitors will just go in and click in here.
I know that when we looked at it up on the computer, I didn't like it. And I'm probably going to say that I hate it more seeing it in person.
So you want tubes?
Tubes is what I envision, tubes. To me, design-wise, I mean, he should be able to see that. That's just, it doesn't look right. I mean, it looks like a big t-shirt in there. I don't know what it looks like. The frustrating part of it is it's a waste of money on materials. It's a waste of his time. And now we've just wasted 2 to 3 days on something we're just going to scrap, which sucks because we're going to need those 2 to 3 days later on in this build. And he's like, oh, don't stress. We got 27 days left. Oh, yeah, right. In 20 days, we'll see how he's feeling in 20 days. It's going to be a last-minute thing. And, again, these types of builds, I hate them coming to the last minute to try to figure things out because these vehicles got to go on the road and they have to be tested. They have to be, be gone through 110 times. And these guys, for some reason, they just don't comprehend that.
That's it. 4 laptops, 4 desktops. Turn it all on, plug it all in, make sure it's all up and running.
All right. We got games we can play with it?
There should be some games built in that we'll be able to test out with. All right. Good luck.
All right, let's get it all figured out, wired, so we don't have that problem that we did on last build. Okay. But yeah, let's get going on it.
Let's go.
All right, man.
We're working on the Alienware Hummer, and basically we got to make the front of it accessible for wheelchairs and stuff. So I got a good friend, John Box, coming by, who's in a chair, and he's going to give me some pointers on what I need for different sizes and different stuff like that. So this is what we're working with. We're basically trying to accomplish this in the front. And so what we need to kind of figure out is do at the front as far as wheelchairs being accessible to it.
Might have to be concerned about height. So if you've got the ability to change the height of the keyboard platform, maybe your line of sight for the monitor. And the other thing is the length of the wheelchair and the access. So, I mean, like different people have different leg lengths. I mean, if their legs are out far, you're going to need clearance for that.
Okay.
So, Boozer and I are really good friends. He's asked me to come over and help out. I'm appointed by the President of the United States to the U.S. Access Board, so I have a little bit of knowledge about disabled needs. They're working on a great project here, and I'm doing my best to help them make that accessible to, various disabilities.
I think what's on my mind now with what you said, if I open this up there's going to be plenty of room with you sitting right where you're at. So I think if I just make it where the keyboard is adjustable, let's say 3 to 4 inches below your point and 4 or 5 inches above your point, we should be able to cover everybody.
Yeah.
Basically, we kind of came up with all our ideas. We'll leave that stuff there and move it, and we'll make the keyboard adjustable, and that'll wrap it all up. Everything he gave me made a big difference. I didn't think about a few of the things that he brought up as far as the height and the way the legs fit and different chairs and stuff like that. So it makes a big difference on what I'm going to do now versus what I was going to do yesterday.
Okay, Ishmael. So this is the Hummer. Real simple for you. That's why I haven't really bothered you on this build. Just got to do the 2 front seats. So I think we do their logo, the Alienware logo, in the headrest, not on this, probably up here, so they can see it from the window. And some thread like this, like a teal.
Color?
Yeah, like a teal color.
Okay, that's not teal, homie.
What is it? Oh, I don't know. You're colorblind, so you don't know what color it is, really.
Sure, but this is teal.
Which one? Yeah, that'll work.
I'm gonna replace all the leather. It's gonna remain black, but no more red. It's gonna be teal, like kind of blue. This is the centerpiece for the seat. The foam that I'm gonna use, the lines that I have to sew. So all I have to do is put some glue, a little bit of glue. This is a little trick that I use, like when I don't have thread that is thick enough, like the one we want to use in this case, I just double thread. And it's looking beautifully simple, nice. See, once I put some glue on the center so I can glue it down, it's gonna be tight and firm.
The biggest issue, again, is going to come down on this build is the wiring. I mean, and all the stuff to be tested and make sure it all works. It seems like I always sound like I'm repeating myself, but at the same time, it's the truth. Is that's really, on these builds that we do for whether they're a Dell computer or they're Virgin or whatever they are, when they consist of computers and gaming, everything's got to work when they show up to an event. They can't have any issues. This is a lot of wiring. So how many days do you think you need?
Word?
5 days. Starting when? The guys really need to get together, and this is Chad and Darren because they're going to be working together on this, and I hope they get it done. Darren's always so laid back. Oh, if I got 5 days, I'll get this done. He won't be done in 10 days, for sure. 100%. I bet $1,000 he won't be. And Chad, you know, both of them, for some reason, they really play this whole thing like it's easy, don't worry about it, really laid back. And for a client like this, we really can't have any issues. So I hope that they take this, they think about it for a little bit, figure it out today, and then tomorrow they really start wiring this truck. Chad and Darren both got their heads on chopping blocks because I'm getting a little irritated with the whole, oh, we got plenty of time.
Ryan, although we have, 2.5, 3 weeks, Ryan's convinced that we're not going to make it. He's pretty cynical like that, especially on this build. You know, me and Darren, at least I feel I'm not worried about it, but what worries me is on Boozer's end. Boozer is taking a lot upon himself to figure out how everything's going to be. He's actually taking stuff upon him that are my job and who are Darren's job. So hopefully, as far as his planning, it's going to work out.
See, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place this right here, but the plexiglass is gonna be behind it, behind the metal. So when I put the LEDs, the eyes
Light up.
all I gotta do is ask Shaq for some LEDs, blue LEDs, and actually start working on the seats. Now I run out of excuses. getting there, little by little. Just gonna put the thing together with the rest of the seat. When I'm done, I'm gonna start running the wires, installing the LEDs.
Coming up on Inside West Coast Customs. What are we doing out here? So Josh, who are you guys? Moose, yes. I think we need to have a meeting.
All right.
I'm freaking out a little. I just keep looking at that clock. I come out here, my chest starts hurting more and more and more, and nobody's working on the truck.
We're actually working behind the scenes right now. We're actually,
who's where? Who's where?
Me and me. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I just wanted to do a quick little meeting on what's left, what needs to be done before this can be done, and all those types of things, because I don't want it to be last minute, oh my God, we got to line X this, and he can't put this in until this gets line X, and that's going to hold us up, and all those things that I think we're still forgetting. Definitely everybody's still very, hey, we have plenty of time, oh, we're good. But 16 days isn't enough time, I don't think. There's a lot of work that's still left. I swear to God, if I say all that, you don't write it down, Rory.
So, right there, door jams.
All right, I'm just saying. I just want to make sure we get this little hit list, put it on the car, and just make sure we stay on top of it, really.
Hey, what language did you write this in?
That roof rack looks stupid. I'm sorry. It looks great. The tubing work that you did is great, but it doesn't match any of the other tubing on the truck.
I just go off the rendering. I think
That's complete.
you want me to go get the rendering.
I don't care if you get the rendering or not. You should know as a fabricator.
Because you use the standard industry.
Hold on. You're the lead on this build. And if you look at this build and you know that it's supposed to be military, off-road, like mean feeling, like tough, wouldn't you match the I mean, everything else is big. It looks like my play school first roof rack. These days are ticking away, and things aren't getting done. So I'm about to go talk to the guys about the 6 Ps. I mean, we talked about in the beginning of this build was proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Obviously, from the beginning to the build to now, we've had to do things 2 and 3 different times. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make a little list. I'm gonna post it up on a couple of spots around the build, just so the guys can remember the 6 Ps. I made something for you.
Certificate?
It's a certificate for you. The 6 Ps. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I mean, the 6 Ps are really serious, because I think if we did proper planning, we would definitely prevent piss poor performance. Not really in you, because you've been doing a great job, but in people like Darren and Boozer and other people that have to do things 2 and 3 times.
The hardest part we're going to have is making sure that, I mean, it's a Hummer, so it's an off-road vehicle. We don't want no wires getting snagged. We don't want anything, any kind of debris catching the wire, ripping our wires out. So we have to just make sure that it's tucked really good and hidden really well.
My main concern is when, Boozer could finish up welding up all these poles or all these structures and whatnot, we can somehow get powder coated, hopefully that's not last minute.
Where's Boozer today?
He ain't coming in today.
Why?
He's in like Vegas again or something.
Get out of here.
He's on vacation. He's not coming in until Monday.
He's not on vacation. Stop saying that.
Hello?
Seriously?
Hey, what's up?
You seriously aren't coming today? And you seriously went and did that car?
Say it again.
What did he say? Yeah, I did.
My phone's messing up.
All right, I'm just letting you know Chad and Darren are blaming everything on you again. That not getting done because you got to come here. You're not here to
Listen
finish.
to him, dude.
You're taking a vacation until Tuesday, you know.
Okay, well, shoot, I don't know what to say. Me and Chad went over. Chad's got a lot to do that he can be doing already. So if he's saying that, I don't get why. We didn't talk about. He's supposed to be running all the wires through the whole truck right now today. So I don't get how I'm holding him up.
Yeah, he's just laid back. You know, he doesn't think I'll fire him if he doesn't get this done.
I don't know. All right, I'll be there tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Later.
I love how you talk.
I'm just getting him fired up, dude. Get you fired up.
How did I talk right now?
You didn't. I just didn't say you talk.
You just like doing that to fire him up?
Yeah, get everybody
up though.
Shut up and work. Because I know you're gonna leave at 5:59, so let's.
I'm gonna leave at 5:45 because of that comment.
Added up, smoke breaks, that. You should leave at 8.
At 8? Maybe 4:30?
Bye.
So the Alienware people need some storage for their computers, and I need some inspiration for this build. I can't have them putting these things in normal computer cases. This truck needs to have a badass military look. So Ryan from Predator offered to take me down to Camp Pendleton and meet the guys from MARSOC. Hopefully, they'll be able to hook me up with some ideas for this build.
Hey, Bill.
Oh, hey. What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you, man?
Good, good.
Nice to see you. Boxes are custom.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
My good friend Bill.
How you doing,
Nice to
Ryan?
meet you.
Bill.
Megan.
My wife, Megan.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
We need to come borrow this shop.
No problem.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
The trains are sick.
Yeah, we actually do all kinds of work here, too. Right now we're doing a water pump on this one.
So this pile of parts is for that ATV?
Exactly. They'll rebuild it, and that pile of parts, I'm not sure.
That pile of parts are just extra parts. We have a lot of those at the shop, too.
Right, it happens. It's kind of your spares.
A good mechanic always has spare parts.
That's right.
What we always say.
So if you think this is something, you really need to go see what our guys are doing.
I want to.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Am I supposed to be scared?
No, you're not supposed to be scared, but this is what we're going to have to wear where we're going. So I have a kit for everyone. Ryan, Megan, and Ryan.
Let's ready to jump into the Humvee. I'll go front just so I don't get sick. Make sure all personal items are tied down. Man, it's a beautiful day.
Wow.
Yeah. What are we doing out here?
The guys should be here somewhere.
Are they on a tactical mission?
They are. They're out doing some training. They usually come through here.
Pretty sweet.
Hey, what's going
on? So Josh, who are you guys?
We're MARSOC. We're the Marine Special Operations Command. We're actually United States Marine Corps Forces, but we work for United States Special Operations Command.
So Ryan brought me down here to get some inspiration for this build we're doing. We're building a Hummer for Alienware computers, and it's got a military feel to it, and there's some pieces that we need. We need some boxes that we can transport a lot of these computers in just to give it this whole military feel for this build.
Well, these vehicles are definitely our lifeline, you know, on deployment. We're living and working on them day in and day out, so we've got to cram everything we've got into them. So yeah, we can definitely show you some stuff, you know,
cool.
how we kind of manage what we've got. And
yeah, just to get some ideas and just so I can take it back to the shop and build this Hummer.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go take a look at the vehicle.
Cool.
So Ryan, this is MARSOC's variant of the Humvee. This is United States Special Operations Command's GMV. Obviously, it's got more machine guns on it, and like we talked about, we got a lot of guys with a lot of gear doing a lot of operations, so we got to manage space the best we can. Maybe something like this would work for you. I don't know. This is a box that we kind of came up with that we throw a lot of our equipment in, just to help us manage space. So Ryan, if you take a look in here, We've obviously got racks for all the ammunition for the machine gun systems up top. We've got communication systems, so you see the space management's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you got 4, 5, 6 guys at a time in here, fully loaded with kit, you know, out conducting operations for long periods of time. So space is at a premium. Well, hopefully you got to see everything it is you came to take a look at.
Yeah, I got a good vibe now.
Great.
Definitely. So I guess the next time, you know, I don't know if you guys got any time, but you guys could maybe come out to Comic-Con to see this Humvee when we unveil our Humvee, the ultimate gamer one.
That'd be an awesome opportunity. We may not be around, but we'll certainly try.
Yeah, see if you guys can come out.
Definitely.
Be cool. Ryan, you got to give me some of these boxes now.
Yeah.
We're good? All right.
I'll come through.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
It's nice meeting you.
Absolutely, you too.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, nice meeting you.
All right. We're taking this one home, though, okay?
Hopefully Ryan saw some great inspiration on our vehicle, and he invited us down to Comic-Con, and we're really looking forward to it, training permitting.
So today was a pretty good day. Ryan brought me down to Camp Pendleton. I got to meet the official MARSOC guys. I got to see some of the boxes that they use in these trucks, which I think hopefully Ryan can get me a couple of those and we can use them for the Alienware build. But ultimately I can get back now to the shop, get this truck built, and hopefully get it to Comic-Con on time.
Coming up on Inside West Coast Customs.
So with 4 hours left on the clock, only 3 guys here right now working on the Hummer. It looks very, very sad. We have less than 4 days to get this Alienware build done. We're definitely in the same position I feel like we're always in. It's always like the guys are pointing their fingers at, oh, I gotta wait for this guy to get this done and this guy to get this done before I can do my job. And realistically, if they would just plan out their time, and that goes back to the 6 Ps that I said, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Right now, we're definitely at piss poor performance because none of the guys are working together. There's a lot of stuff that can still be done while this guy's doing this, and oh, let me do this while he's doing this, and then once that's done, but they don't think like that. And I think this is the time and this is the build that's really gonna, in my head, make us make some changes in this shop. I mean, these guys have had many, many different chances, and now it's time to say, you know what, okay, this is it.
My goal today, this morning, I'm going to turn on the generator, and then I got to test the Ethernet connection for each little port I made. It's a lot better than I thought. Right now, I only have 2 that aren't working. I got 4 more back here that I haven't put on the tips yet. These guys right here. We're all kind of holding each other up. I just got to make sure this is working, and then Joe has to dress up that whole generator. So hopefully this won't take too long.
Today I'm here to actually wrap the Hummer that's behind us here. We're going to go from a white Hummer to a matte black Hummer. It's going to be hard, time consuming, but it'll look great when we're done.
As far as time-wise, I mean, I feel good with time as long as we get the parts today. We're still waiting for the neon lights. So neon lights are supposed to be here today, and the truck has to be done tomorrow.
One of the things we're battling today is the humidity. We're having monsoon kind of weather, so it's hot. It's on 100% humidity, and this is water-based paint, which means we're spraying water with water, so it's going to take a little longer to dry. So we got some curing issues there, but and then it was just add a little bit more cure time to it, check it, wash it in between flashes, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, and then at the end of the day we get them cleared and we're done.
Don't break them. Thoroughly set. Cool. And will they get done today? All wheel wells, top lights as well?
The whole wrap itself is going pretty well. I'm having a little bit of lifting issues in the rough corners right here, which is sometimes expected. The way I put it down though, and kind of took some steps to eliminate the lifting,
It shouldn't be doing it, and it still is. So I called out the representative for the manufacturer of the material. He's gone over a couple things, suggested what he thinks might be wrong and what we're going to try to do to resolve the issue. The first thing we're going to try is we're going to take a hypodermic needle and a little bit of super glue, and we're going to try injecting a little bit of super glue into the trouble areas, because it's not really major where we're having problems. If we inject the glue into the popping areas and it doesn't stay down and it lifts within just a few minutes like it is right now, obviously it's not going to work, and we're just going to have to start all over on those areas.
So with 4 hours left on the clock, only 3 guys here right now working on the Hummer. It looks very, very sad. Definitely a big concern is if it's not ready by tomorrow, with Chad and Boozer both having to go away this weekend, I don't know what's going to happen. So by tomorrow I'm going to make a decision of they're either going to stay and get this thing done for me so we don't look bad to these people, or they're going to leave and not come back to a job. So we'll see what happens. So my deadline for the Alienware has now come and gone. I give the guys a couple days of fluff just because I know that this always happens. We actually don't look that bad. I mean, I went over it this morning when I got here with some of the guys just to see what's left and what isn't. Chad and a couple of the guys stayed really, really late last night to get everything working, which was good. We got a couple pieces out at powder coating that should be done this afternoon. We're taking a couple other pieces off that are going to get Linexed, and then everything by end of day today looks like it'll be done. Hopefully we can move it out of that area, get it out into an area where we can get everything hooked up and tested, and then, you know, it doesn't look that bad. I was actually pretty nervous yesterday, but today I feel like everybody's on the ball. They know what they need to do. Everybody's got direction, and they're getting it done.
What's up, Ryan?
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
Got some goodies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
The bad boys?
here they are.
Sweet.
So Ryan got inspired while we were at the base, and so
Ryan pulled through for me in the 11th hour. He got the right cases. I got Moscow on the job to get him finished and get this vehicle done. I have a really big concern with Boozer just not being here for the rest of this build, because he was the lead guy. He did list. He actually, you know, figured out what he needed to do before he did it. These guys are really running wild right now trying to just get it done, and that's where we find a lot of the problems to be. But I'm going to see what happens. I mean, he got most of his stuff done before he left, so I think we're in good shape. I got Moscow helping us out on this. I had to pull him from another job, and he'll make sure this thing gets done.
Alienware tech guys have joined us at the shop today to load up all their computers with the latest gaming software for this big event at Comic-Con.
I'm holding my breath, and I have all my fingers crossed that this thing's going to get done on time.
Coming up on Inside West Coast Customs.
I was worried throughout the build, is this thing going to make it?
That is a mobile gaming LAN party. Well, guys, I got a tournament to play.
I'm taking this truck down to Comic-Con, where it's going to